Okay. Okay, all right. Thank you.
First of all, she's got to be 10:30. She's got a while to be. I'm not quite ready. Yes, it is. I'm sorry.
I'm not quite. They're so anxious to get out here, and that's... Wayne will be out here a lot, too. That's too funny. Okay. Okay, right. Nope. I am going to, right now, talk about the finale. The finale tonight is celebrating the 70 years of the Florida Folk Festival. Back in 1950, a lady named Ada Miller, who was the national president of the Federation of Music Clubs, and she was here in White Springs for a state convention. And she took around and looked at this park, and she said, "What a perfect place for a folk festival." Well, the local resident, Lillian Saunders, who was also a community activist, said, "What's a folk festival?" And that was just the beginning. They brought down Lillian Saunders from Kentucky, and she was the founder and director of the National Folk Festival. And so she traveled through Florida, and she was collecting musicians, storytellers, craftsmen, people who were could represent the various cultures in Florida, including the Seminole and the Miccosukee tribes. And in 1953, the Florida Folk Festival premiered. And it was just 13 years later that I came here for the first time. Seems like it seems like a whole lifetime ago on one hand, and on the other hand, it seems like it was just yesterday. I just don't know where all the time went, how it went so fast. I've seen so many families and friends grow up here, just like I did. And so many of them are gone too, and that makes it sad for all of us. But there, like I said earlier, there's so many young people here who are singing and telling stories and dancing and bringing their fantastic music and the traditions of their families. And they will continue to do that, hopefully, forever. I dream of things that I would do. I dream of things, some old, some new. I dream of things across the sea. I dream these things for you and me. Time passes and so must I. Time passes, the days go by. Time passes, it just goes on. Time passes, and then we're gone. It's so easy to dream of the days gone by. It's a hard thing to think of times to come, and the grace to accept every moment as a gift is a gift that is given to some. What can you do with your days but work and hope? Let your dreams find your work to your play. What can you do with each moment of your life but love till you've loved them away? Love till you've loved them And I am not afraid while my friends are near me. I know it will be so till it's time to go. So count the storms of summer and the birds in spring again. I do not fear the time. Who knows where the time goes? Who knows where the time goes? Thank you. Stand. Okay, now Wayne Martin can come out.
Well, this is not okay. This is still.
Yeah,
Oh, but you're out of room.
yeah, because we need to finish writing them up after that.
There, hello, okay. Can you hear me?
Is he in
All right.
director of being lost?
Okay, so in 1953 and 1954, Sarah Gertrude Knott was the director of the Florida Folk Festival. But then they decided that perhaps a local person would be better for the job. And so they recruited one of the stars of the Florida Folk Festival, who was a 49-year-old actress and storyteller from Gainesville. Her name was Thelma Bolton, and she became known as Cousin Thelma Bolton and the Queen of Florida Folk. She was this round, roly-poly lady that we all loved. She would sit up here on the stage, and the whole weekend she'd be wearing this long dress and sometimes a really big hat. She had a very raspy voice, but she was so lovable, and she would make sure that all the fellers were wearing pants, long pants, and that the ladies were wearing dresses. Always. That was a requirement. Somebody tonight asked me if it was okay if they could wear shorts out here, and I said, nope. Anyway, she, and with the help of Barbara Beecham, who's a local White Springs resident for the next couple of decades, they ran this festival. Barbara behind stage with a clipboard, because she was far more comfortable back there, and Cousin Thelma always out front. And Cousin Thelma sometimes would bring out her folk toys and sing and have a good time out here. That's what we're going to do right now.
Okay.
When I was young and foolish, I thought that I would marry. I fell in love with a pretty little girl, and her name was Devilish Kerry. all the trouble started, she combed my hair with a rolling pin to make sure it was parted. She washed my hands in old soap, sewed them up in stitches. She gave me her prettiest dress, said she, I'll wear the breeches. Oh no, I said, Mrs. Ian, I will not stand for more. That's right, she said, you've had enough and threw me out the door.
If I move that chair because I can't see well.
I'm just getting to that. My husband's out there prompting me. That was, yes, those two dancers, Julie Falt, who from the Cross Creek Loggers, and she's also Lillian Saunders' granddaughter. So what goes around comes around, right? And Mary Allgire, I hope I said that right. She's with the Hot Pepper Steppers. We miss the cloggers. We love the cloggers. They're so much fun. So Cousin Thelma would often join performers on stage, and there was one particular person that we really, really loved. Tommy Walton. He was a town crier, and he sold hot dogs at the baseball stadium in St. Petersburg, but he didn't just sell hot dogs. He danced, he told stories, he sang.
He sold watermelons.
We called him the watermelon man
That's
here
right,
because he sold watermelon and pineapple and all sorts of fruit. And he had sort of this almost like a modern rapping style with his verses. But he'd come out on the stage with his guitar, and which was usually out of tune, but it didn't matter. And he and Cousin Thelma would sing this song, which was one of our favorites, Butter Beans. And Dennis Devine, Wayne Martin, and Will Ellis, of course.
Well, just a bowl of butter beans. Pass the biscuits if you please. I don't want no collard greens. All I want is a bowl of butter beans. Well, ham and biscuits are all right. Turnip sandwich a delight. All the children, they all scream for a bowl of those butter beans. Now see that lady over there, the one with the golden hair. Well, she's not pregnant like she seems. She's just full of those butter beans. Sing it with us now. Just a bowl of butter beans. Pass the biscuits if you please. I don't want no collard greens. All I want is a bowl of butter beans. rest. Place a rosebud by my chest, 'cause I don't want no evergreens. All I want is a bowl of butter beans. Let's hear it from you now, from the back seats. Just a bowl of butter beans. Pass the biscuits if you please. I don't want no collard greens. All I want is a bowl of butter beans. All I want is a bowl of butter beans.
So the Folk Festival in 1953 and 1954 took place on a wooden stage. I'm not sure exactly where it was. I think it was over where the marble stage is here. And then in 1955, they took the old marble blocks from the Barnett Bank building in Jacksonville and brought them here and built the marble stage. And then 20 years later, the amphitheater was built, and the brickstone stage we have here became the main stage. But a lot of us still like to think of the old marble stage as our favorite venue. And this gentleman right here is one of the longtime performers. I was going to say old timers, but we don't really want to say that. Friends of longstanding, indeed, yes. He's a songwriter, recording artist, author, and fine musician, and we're pleased to have Bob Patterson help us remember the old marble stage. This is his song, his wonderful song.
Check, check. Oh, that one's good. How about the guitar? Thank you, Jeanie. All right. Hey, you guys out there doing all right? Yeah. How wonderful to be together again. Yeah. My first festival, 1967. This 55 years. This is what the first one sounded. This song's about the first one. Last night, while I was alone, I began dreaming of a time now long gone, and I heard an echo in my mind. It came from that old marble stage. Swallowed by darkness, I began to press on. I let my mind carry me back to another time, up to White Springs on the banks of the Swanee, back to that old marble stage. Oh, the bleachers were loaded. It was elbow to elbow. Crowd was swaying to the sound of a song, and banjos were ringing, fiddles were fiddling, all on that old marble stage. Yes, I found a place, it still lives in my memory. It was all lit up with laughter and song, and the sound is music to tickle your heartstrings, all coming from that old marble stage. I'd love to go back, take you there with me, back to a time not so long ago, back to a place that still lives in my memory, the joy of that old marble stage. When my mind conjures up an image of heaven, I see angels swaying to the sound of a hymn, and there I meet my creator, my sage. He's standing on an old marble stage. So when I die and I've lost all my days, just sprinkle my ashes on the old marble stage.
So in 1966, that was the first year that I attended the festival here. Another young man from Central Florida arrived at the Florida Folk Festival. Turns out he was an exquisite guitarist and a superb storyteller. You have to use superlatives when you're talking about Gamble Rogers. He had these loquacious monologues that were epic, and sometimes you had to resort to pulling out your pocket Webster dictionary to get through a performance. Just kidding, sort of. But he was an incredible performer, and to help us celebrate him tonight is another exquisite guitarist, performer from St. Augustine, Charley Simmons.
Hey, thank you. So, it only seems like yesterday when I first met Gamble, but in fact, it's been well over 50 years. So I wrote this little tribute song for Gamble some years ago. I walk the streets of old St. Augustine, and I feel as though I'm halfway in a dream. Old memories stroll by on parade like some transcendental promenade, and Gamble played that old guitar. Well, Charlotte Street just seems to make me blue, and it don't feel the way it did in '72. And I flash back to a time before when those notes rolled out the trade wind's door, and Gamble played that old guitar. I close my eyes and it takes me where the smell of jasmine's in the air, and Gamble played that old guitar. He played this. They sang those songs and told those stories so well, and we all laughed and cried, how could we ever tell that he'd leave us on that sandy shore where we'd all long to hear once more. Gamble played that old guitar. I close my eyes and it takes me where the smell of jasmine's in the air, and Gamble played that old guitar. He'd play this. Well, I can't hold it on the road when you're sitting right beside me and I'm drunk out of my mind, merely from the fact that you are near. I've drifted so far away from that ancient city where I thought I'd always stay. Yeah, but in my mind I'll return to the place where the Haints and the Vandals turn, and Gamble played that old guitar. I close my eyes and it takes me where the smell of jasmine's in the air, and Gamble played that old guitar. As long as I can draw a breath, I know I never will forget when Gamble played that old guitar. When Gamble played that old guitar. Yeah, Gamble played that old guitar. I wish I could hear Gamble just pick that old guitar. just like bubbles on a dolphin's breath. Thank you.
Charley Simmons, thanks, Charley. Most of you know that Gamble passed away in 1991, a hero trying to save a drowning man off Flagler Beach. And he was awarded the Florida Folk Heritage Award posthumously in 93 and then inducted into the Florida Artist Hall of Fame in 98. As a lot of the performers who have passed have been. About the same period of time, there were several musicians who came to the Florida Festival right about that time. Paul Champion, who was a banjoist, who also passed. Fiddler Chubby Anthony, and a wonderful singer-songwriter from the Winter Park area, Jim Ballou. He has a special place in my heart because he taught me how to finger pick, and he also connected me to Cousin Thelma Bolton and the Florida Folk Festival. To honor Jim tonight is this other wonderful songwriter, performer, as you all know, Grant Livingston, and Jonathan Hodge on the fiddle. Oh, and I think I'm going to sing with you on this one.
Yeah, I think Jeannie's going to join us on this one. Best thing that ever happened to me at the Florida Folk Festival is in my second year here, I had to follow Gamble Rogers on stage. Now, you have heard that that's a tough act to follow, and the opposite is true, because when Gamble got done playing, those people were so happy that I could do no wrong. Jim Ballou was another person like that. And Jim influences me too, because when I first came to the festival, I had a mustache, and so did Jim. I wore a hat, and so did Jim. I did not wear a hat like this one, he did. But I've been wearing this one for 35 years. This is called Roll On Manatee. When the Spanish came to Florida, they saw a lot of things they had never seen before. And one of those things was an animal they saw in the bays and in the springs. And not knowing what it was, the Spanish supposed that they had seen a mermaid. Now, I don't think they got a close look at the face of the Florida manatee. Roll on, manatee. Take my soul with you out to sea. You can see them by the shore. They keep our rivers clean. They're guardians of our waters, this mammal so serene. Along the shallow shoreline and to the crystal springs, they surely must be numbered among our precious things. Sun roll on, manatee. Life and death flow on as one roll on, manatee. They were here before Menendez, Pillow, St. Augustine, and long before the Indian nations reigned supreme. Sailors thought them mermaids as they watched them nurse their young. We must preserve this creature. Their song is almost sung.
roll on, Manatee. Watching their nocturnal flight roll on, Manatee. They were here before Menendez built old St. Augustine, and long before the Indian nations reigned supreme. Protect our estuaries, help save the manatee, and like the sacred mangrove, we'll hand in hand walk to the sea. Take my soul with you out to sea. Roll on, roll on, roll on.
Jonathan? Well, another great songwriter and funny, wonderful, entertaining performer on this stage was Cherokee Indian journalism professor at the University of Florida and the recipient of the 1996 Florida Folk Heritage Award. And I'm talking about Don Grooms. Yeah. How many of you remember Don? He was a musical legacy, a crowd pleaser, known for his wit and his great humor. And this fellow right here, Tom Shedd, is a great singer-songwriter, and he sings lots of Don songs beautifully, carrying on his legacy. Please welcome Tom Shedd.
Don Grooms grew up in the mountains of Cherokee, North Carolina. His mom raised 5 kids on an income of $12.50 a month. Brother's clothes got down to him. He'd watch him, patch him, say, "There might much, son, but we didn't steal them. Nobody give them to us. So you wear them, walk proud. Use it up, wear it out. Make it do or do without. We can't pay for things you want to buy. Wear your old faded jeans. They are patched, but they are clean. Walk proud, my son. Hold your head up high. Grew up way back in the hills with the bears of Whippoorwills. Closest store, 35 miles away. Although I'm now a full-grown man, when I close my eyes, I can hear the words my mother used to say. Use it up, wear it out, make it do or do without. We can't pay for things you want to buy. Wear your old faded jeans. They are patched, but they are clean. Walk proud, my son, and hold your head up high. Now I've got a son of my own, even got his own telephone. Seems like I buy him something every day. Got everything money can buy. It makes me want to cry, 'cause I know he'll never hear his mother say, sing it with me now. Use it up, wear it out, make it do or do without. We can't pay for things you wanna buy. Wear your old faded jeans, they're patched but they are clean. Walk proud, my son, and hold your head up high. Walk proud, my son, hold your head up high. Thank you, Don.
Thank you, Tom. Beautiful. Yeah, we all miss Don. I don't think there's a more passionate singer, songwriter, performer to grace the stage at the Florida Folk Festival than Dale Kreider. He is, passionate about his love of the rivers, the land, the critters. And sometimes his introductions would go on and on and on, and he'd run out of time and never get to sing the songs because he talked so much. He was so passionate. He wanted to get that story out there. He wanted to help us all save Florida through his music. And he was an amazing performer, and he still is. I'm sorry, he's just not able to be here and perform with us, and we're very sorry that he's not here. He was here this weekend, and we loved seeing him, and we visited him in the camp, and he sang some of the songs there. And he would be thrilled to know that this gentleman here, Larry Mangum, is going to sing one of Dale's iconic songs. So please welcome wonderful singer-songwriter himself, Larry Mangum.
Thank you, Jeanie. Thank you so much for inviting me. Been inspired by Dale, had a lot of fun with him, written some songs about him. So we're very pleased to be a part of this in his honor. When she leaves the dam at Chattahoochee, winding in a southern flow, easy on her way, another night and day, she'll finally reach the Gulf of Mexico. Apalachicola river water in vain of our land. Alligators in her swampy borders are part of nature's land. Give the word to protect her, call a technical sector, soften up the cry to drain the swamplands dry. Appalachicola, let her ride. Appalachicola, strong in mind. Appalachicola, feeling fine, oh Lord. Appalachicola, doing time. So as we turn the page of natural history, she's winding in a southern flow, nursing on her way the oysters in the bay. This is all a part of nature's role. Apalachicola river water in vain of our land. Alligators in her swampy border are part of nature's plan. Give the word to protect her, call a technical sector, soften up the cry to drain the swamplands dry. Appalachicola, let her ride. Appalachicola, Apalachicola strong and mild. Apalachicola doing fine, oh Lord. Apalachicola doing time. Apalachicola doing time. Neil Kreider. Thank you, folks. Appreciate it.
Well, back in the 1960s, the Black Hat Troubadour made his way to the Florida Folk Festival unannounced. He was all dressed in black and he drove a hearse. We often refer to him as the father of Florida folk music, and he had made quite an impact on all of us. Once he came back from World War II, he traveled around Florida and he started writing songs and stories and poems about the state that he loved so much. And actually, he had been responsible for bringing Gamble Rogers here, and Don Grooms, and Jim Ballou, Paul Champion, Bob Patterson even, Chubby Anthony, and a slew of other singer-songwriters. And of course, we know he has beautiful, beautiful songs that we all sing. What a legacy he's left behind. He has his own music festival, the Will McLean Music Festival, which usually occurs in March. He was a Folk Heritage Award recipient in 1989, and he was also inducted into the Florida Artist Hall of Fame in '96. But perhaps the most iconic song that Will wrote was the story of the 1928 hurricane that ravaged South Florida. And this is often a finale song for all of us called Hold Back the Waters. Now, there are a few other performers out here besides the Bullard brothers and Kerry Waldron, who's their bass player, and you will see them later on as well. So, and if you want to sing the chorus, feel free to do so. Hold Back the Waters. Please please help us welcome the Bullard brothers and friends.
Was in the late 20s, there came a flood. Drowned at 4,000, their graves was the mud. Could nothing withstand that great tidal wave. And the ghost of the vanished still called from the grave. Wild winds are blowing across the Okeechobee, calling and searching for other poor souls. Lake Okeechobee's blue waters are cold. Well, the Seminoles left there with haste and with speed. Their wise words of warning were given no heed. When the waters rescinded, great God, what a sight. When women and children turned black as the night. Lord, hold back the waters of Lake Okeechobee's blue waters are cold. When the wild winds are blowing across the Okeechobee, they're calling and searching for other poor souls. Lake Okeechobee's blue waters are cold. Lake Okeechobee is calm and serene. The land tall and green. But the people get fearful when the wild winds do blow. They look at the earth there and think of their own. Lord, hold back the waters of Mangum and Charley, for Mangum and Charley's blue waters are cold. When the wild winds are blowing across the Charley, we're calling and searching for other poor souls. Mangum and Charley's blue waters are cold.
I really should have just left this with
I have to apologize for saying the Bullard brothers, because I only see one Bullard brother, Jerry Lawrence Bullard.
Jerry. Got Jerry Lawrence.
Well, I know that he and Kerry grew up along the Swanee River, and Jerry played on this stage when he was a little boy, so he grew up with the Florida Folk Festival. I guess Johnny was ailing tonight, that's why he's not here. But anyway, this is the first festival without our beloved Frank Thomas, and we all know what a legacy he has left behind. Amazing songwriter and kind and gentle man who was so inspirational to all of us, giving us all jobs to do. Write songs about Florida, its heritage, its culture, its flora, its fauna. And he and his wife Ann first started here, I believe in the late 70s, started performing here at the festival. And just yesterday, the gazebo stage was now dedicated to both of them. It was the Ann Thomas stage because she passed a few years ago, and so now it's been dedicated to them. It's a wonderful venue for Florida songs by Florida writers. And I think I'm supposed to play this song, aren't I? You're going to help me, right?
We are on 51, correct?
Okay, where am I going to be now? Let's see. How's this? I think I'm still plugged in. Yes. Okay. Oops. This has got to be one of my favorite songs that Frank ever wrote. Frank used to say, whenever you asked how he was doing, he'd say, "I ain't nothing extra." We all know that not to be true. Extra, yes, of course. Actually, I knew a gentleman in Alaska. His name was Extra. And whenever Frank would say that, that would come to my mind. This is a song that I think is so beautiful. And he used to say, it's just a song about a bunch of cowboys. And I'd say, Frank, no, it's not. It's a song about each and every one of us living here in Florida. And I should introduce everyone. Lisa is going to be singing us the next song. She is Frank's widow. And Rochelle Morris, you've seen her here for many, many, many years performing with various groups. She's a wonderful singer. And of course, Mark Billman again and Will Ellis again. Okay.
Mark Billman. Have Mark Billman at some point?
His beard may be stubble,
Yeah, okay, now,
like a cut of a sugar cane field. His clothes may be dirty, but the look in his eyes let you know he won't yield. He's from a breed that has died, but he has survived, though the world he once knew is gone. He's an old cracker cowman, existing a long way from home. And dirt bikes scream over land that used to be scrubbed cow trails. And interstate highways have Mr. Flagler's raised, and condos rise from the land, and space shuttles fly. And the old cracker cowman don't know how it all passed him by. But the legend lives on. Jake Summerlin and old Sam Keene, the beginning and the ending of an era now gone. Men like Doc Norman somehow let the bottle get him down. These old Florida cowboys are like eagles tied to the ground. And dirt bikes scream over land that used to be scrubbed cow trails. And interstate highways have taken the place of all Mr. Flagler's rails. And condos rise from the land, and space shuttles fly. And the old cracker cowboy don't know how it all passed him by. And the old cracker cowman don't know how it all passed him by. So I mentioned earlier that Anne passed away. She actually passed away before Frank. And she was quite a force to reckon with. I never remember her without her bibbed overalls. I think she used to wear something else in the beginning, but
She wore them to work and everything.
yes, I know. She was a great storyteller, and she has written a few songs that are great songs, and this is one of them. It's called The Storyteller, and I think it's really sweet that Lisa Thomas is carrying on this song for Anne.
A grandmother sat on the banks of a spring and told her grandchild magical things of unicorns and dragons with gold on their wings, and the old days of queens and kings. The child watched the clouds and saw pictures up there of elephants and princesses with long flowing hair, and unicorns, and once a pair of dancing bears, and an old man in a rocking chair. And the child said, "Grandma, were there ever really unicorns? And did they dance and prance, and could they sing? How I'd have loved to have been a living way back then, to have seen such enchanting things." A Were there ever really knights of old? And did they find the Holy Grail? How I'd love to have been a living way back then, to have seen such enchanting things. Well, the generation passed, the spring at long last, post that little girl and her own grandchild. She tells stories of the days of bygone sirens, so meek and gentle and mild. And the child said, Grandma, were there ever really manatees? Did they really swim in this stream? How I'd love to have been a living way back then, to have seen such enchanting things. And the child said, Grandma, were there ever really manatees?
Thank you, Lisa. Rochelle and Vigo on the guitar. So the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s brought us a lot of wonderful performers, most of which are not here on this stage with us tonight. A lot of them have moved away, and a lot of them have passed. I'll name just a few of them. Seminole Chief Jim Billy, Whitey Markle and the Swamp Rooters. Whitey was just made one of the legacies, Florida legacies here. You'll see in the program. Let's see, Skip Jones and the Travelers, the Greengrass Revival, they were here playing this weekend, and the Peyton Brothers, which you heard, the Makeley family of yodelers, I wish they were here, Southwind, The Wind That Shakes the Barley, Doug Goss, David Beatty, Steve Blackwell, Big Timber, Ida Goodson, Diamond Teeth Mary McLean, Red and Murphy Henry, Christopher Henry, of course they were here this weekend, Bob Rafkin, Velma Fry, Okefenokee Joe, Brendan Nolan, Sam Passetti, Marie Knopfsinger, Valerie Caracappa, Rod McDonald, Carl Wade, and Something Special, the New Sand Mountain Wildcats, Patchwork, they were here, Bob Kogath, the 97 Regimental String Band, the Peters Road Swamp Blues Band, Ronneberry Lichtower, Amy Carroll Webb, and a whole lot more. Another beloved performer who's not with us tonight, who passed just a short while ago. This is our first festival without her. My musical sister, your musical sister, Mindy Simmons. She was probably one of the most versatile performers to grace any stage, because she could do blues, jazz, folk, rock, original, and she could do it all so well. Tonight to help us honor Mindy is one of her musical sisters, Lisa Bonn, and her son, Nick. Please welcome.
Thank you, Jeanie. And I'm so honored to be here with this lovely group of people and to be representing Mindy. One thing I do want you to know is that before she died, Mindy gave her guitar to Nick, and he had to promise to play it here. And so that's how we roped him in. And here we are. And you'll know this song, and I hope you sing along. And it'll lift all our hearts a little bit.
They're full of protein.
bugs. Oh, I hate love bugs. Well, let me see. Is there a stronger word than hate? A bug who gets it way more than I do. Well, then hooked up for a lifetime, I can't even get a date. Oh, man. We got red tide in our oceans, and there's rotten fishes down on the beach. But we're kicking back with Jimmy's margaritas, fighting gators for our golf balls. Ain't Florida neat? And there's reptiles, lots of reptiles. Well, we got snakes and frogs and gecko lizards too. Well, they eat the insects, so they got my full respect. Well, I'd hate to live in Florida without them, wouldn't you? You know I would. We got seaweed in our bathing suits, and we got sand spurs in our feet. We're kicking back with Jimmy's margaritas, dodging blossoms on the highway, fighting gators for golf balls, racing snowbirds for parking. Ah, ain't Florida neat? Thank you all. Thank you so much.
So one of the most prolific songwriters to grace our stage was this young man from Tampa. Modest and shy at first, had a great big voice, and left a great big legacy behind. He's now one of our legacy performers too. Not too long ago, he came into the campground and handed me an 8-page poem that he had written about Florida. He said, "Jeanie, I want you to put this to music and sing it." And I said, "No." I handed it back to him. I said, "You put it to music and you sing it." And he did. He scaled it down a bit. I think he scaled it down to 2 pages. And turns out it's one of the best Florida songs I think it's ever written. And I have all these great people to help me sing this tonight. Mark Smith, you all know Mark Smith, wonderful singer-songwriter. Mark Billman again. Will Ellis, of course, on the bass. Joe Mark, another great singer-songwriter, guitarist. Del Suggs. And Mike Sauter is going to play the harmonica for us, right? So this is going to be great. I guess I'm a little bit of everything. I've seen so many flags unfurled. Someone still remembers me. They come to see me from all over the world. I'm the Spanish moss hanging from the live oak tree. I'm what's left of the panther and the old manatee. I'm the eagle in flight. I'm the ocean's roar. I'm Florida, need I say more? I'm Florida, need I say more?
I'm the ghost of the Spaniard at the fountain of youth in old Augustine by the sea. And down around Brighton, I'm a Seminole Indian, somehow still walks free. I'm the sunburned face of that old Key West conch, watching hurricanes down a Duval Street. Tarpon jumping down in Chocolate Ski, where the Gulf and the Everglades meet.
I'm the coat of gray my great-grandfathers wore on the fields of Cumber sons mill at the Coochie now has vanished as the cypress they sod. I'm Apalachicola oysters, I'm Crystal Springs, Cousin Thelma Bolton, I'm Will McLean. All these people you love, these golden shores. I'm Florida, need I say more? I'm Florida, need I say more? I'm the weathered skin, the Arcadian cowboy. My fence, what likes brothers hers. A canoe trip down to Mayaca, where the gators are left undisturbed. My coral's still alive out in old Tampa Bay, a secret place my brother and I know. Citrus getting ripe in the sunshine, Ben Hill Griffin's frost-proof groves. The water's as clear as a swimming pool, though fewer than there used to be. Though I'll never be like yesterday, you can still catch a fish safe to eat.
So take a look around me, I'm sure you'll agree. Florida's the best of the land of the free, with all of the good life right here at our door. I'm Florida, need I say more? I'm Florida, need I say more? I'm Spaniard, I'm Frenchman, I'm British, I'm Indian, I'm forest, I'm swampland, I'm a cookie for all men, and proud as can be when I roam. I'm Florida, need I say more? I'm Florida, need I say more? That was great. Bobby would be so